Hello, good day. Welcome to the issues reaching you from Oweleke TV. I am Miss Baba today, and what we'll be discussing today is a matter that is actually a touching one because one would think that 10 years after, the government would have found the lasting solutions to the abduction of the Chibok girls. But now, joining me to discuss this matter is Chris to my right and Antonio to my left. Good morning, gentlemen, and good morning, the beautiful lady.
Good morning, Mercy.
How are you
I'm
guys?
fine. Happy weekend.
Okay, looks like today at least the good morning is not is not straight to the point. How was your weekend, Chris?
Fine.
All right, now this particular issue we're talking about today is a sad one because one would think that 10 years after the abduction of the Chibok girls, remember the Chibok girls that were abducted in 2015, and of course it was not just a national issue; it was a world issue. I would say a monumental one that actually there were lots of attention on it. And I think I saw a documentary that was done a few days back in one of the popular TV stations where they mentioned how 21 were released and then they returned with 24 children. And a backstory, I've equally seen a story of another girl that was released and then she seeked, sick as asylum with one of the countries, I think the US or the UK, and then they gave it to her. And of course, she has given birth now, she's married, and all of that. And one would wonder what has happened to these girls. How did the parents get closure? And that is not even the sad one. Most of the parents are even dead because they couldn't get closure. You know, something something Yoruba people would say that it is better for you to lose a child than when your child goes missing. Because a child that goes missing, you do not know what has happened to the child. Is the child alive? Is the child dead? Is he suffering? Is he happy? Or is she thriving? But then some even returned with 34 children. That's a lot. Well, I'll ask Chris first. What's your take on all of this?
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate the family. I will also want to thank God for their lives. At least they are back with their life. But what we are not sure of is their state of mind right now. What effect will their character be to the society where they are going to be now? What effect? What kind of orientation were they given while they were away for these years? And then this is not the time. I read from one of the dailies that they should hand them over to their parents. I think that is a very, very wrong thing to think of. Right now, what they need is total psychological cleansing and examination. They have been away for many years, and then the 34 children, these are another, that is another set of human beings. You don't know the character that they are. They are going to, if you free them to be infused into the society, they will, of course, they were in the hands of criminals, killers. So they should be very, very careful. They need to quarantine them, give them maybe maybe help them to disabuse whatever it is that is in their mind. But do you
think that would actually work? Because now I remember the stories of Boko Haram members that were caught and then they went for, I think they said rehabilitation, and then they were put back into the society
and even
employed and
take
now
into the
into
Nigeria. One of them over the weekend,
I was going to mention that
killed a
woman in Enugu, and that one would wonder, they've released 21 of the girls that came back with 34 children. Are they going to just infuse these people straight into the society? Because now even those that sought asylum for most of these countries, you see that they go through mental re-evaluation.
To be honest, it's a really sad one. It's a traumatic experience for both the Chibok girls, their parents, even the children that they've been released. Because you would agree with me, when you travel from one location to another, it takes time for your body to adjust.
Yes,
how much more going to a location where you were constantly under torture, separated from your loved ones, and even the children that were born into that kind of life, just in the forest and living there, now coming out, it will be difficult. So now, taking them directly to their parents, just like Chris mentioned, I don't think is a good step. They need to take, first of all, medical examination.
Exactly.
Medical
HIV,
examination,
all
because
kinds
there will
of
be all kinds of sexually transmitted diseases. For them to have had children, how many? 34.
They were abused.
They were abused. So now they'll have to undergo all kinds of medical examination. Apart from medical examination, also their mindset is, I don't want to
But
use an
do you even
offensive
think
word.
there's anything that could actually fix them when I'm talking about the mental
See,
torture that they
this car
face?
is
Because
deep.
I mean, 10 years is a lot of time or a lot of scar. Say you were 12 when you entered there, you were
Now
coming
you're
out as a
22.
22-year-old. That's a whole adult coming out.
See,
You went in as a
honestly,
child.
Let me put it to you. You will hear between now and this coming weekend, you may hear that one or two of them may even may seek or may ask that they should be taken back to where they are coming from.
You know, because
they may have given them all kinds of them a kind of station their mind, just like you rightly mentioned. Maybe somebody was kidnapped at the age of 10, and now they are back at
10
the
is
age
a
of
child.
2022, and at the end of it, they are already adults, so they are coming back. They left as teens, now they are back now as adults.
So everything they literally
anything
know
now, anything they know about life now is what they got from there.
You know, the formative years, apart from the childhood,
Childhood.
during your teens, what you see, your environment influences how you behave, and you pick up values. It's during those teenage years you pick up values, you drop them, even though you can make changes as an adult. But most of what is the core of your character is formed during those teenage years and early adulthood. So now it's going to take a really long, this is something that the government has to be very firm on, trying to see that these people get therapy, get mental help, and not just their health. Everything about them needs to be taken, all-round wellness. It needs to be taken into cognizance. It's not just a one-time therapy thing.
No,
not like
it's
they came out today,
sections,
and this evening, or maybe during the week they go for therapy and they leave them to go back to their families.
That's why I said they should be quarantined.
Not necessarily. If you say quarantine, we mean that we restrict them from interfacing with the outside world.
No, for now, yes.
No.
For now, yes.
But what I'm trying to say, let me land on my thoughts. What I'm trying to say is that as much as they're trying to reestablish connections with the outside world, their mental health, their physical health should be something that is constantly checked. Say for the next 1, 2, 3 years, because this scar is very deep and it will take a lot of time to heal. An injury that was not inflicted in a day, for crying out loud, they stayed for 10 years. It's going to take a really long time, and the government needs to be so hard on firm on this taking care of them and ensuring that they come out. If not, we would have a repeat of what, like Chris mentioned, that they would want to go back to those, because of it. We're finding comfort there. Why bring us to this life? Do you understand? Because that is the life they've known for the children they just gave birth to, and that is the life the Chibok girls have been living for the past 10 years. So they will not find satisfaction in living life the way we are living now.
I want a situation whereby the government can move them out of this country to a place where they can be given attention.
I think this country will be better. That would be another culture shock, because they are trying to come to terms with being a Nigerian in Nigeria. Now taking them to another country, it might be.
But you know the way Nigeria is right now. Nigeria is of course progressing, but I feel like the culture shock would be better off than staying in Nigeria, where a lot of things are happening right now, and I'm sure the government's ends are full. And let's focus on the fact that the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs right now is in shambles. So let's put that out there first. But then in all of this, as we're talking
actually,
about,
this is what that
they
ministry
ought
ought to be doing.
Absolutely. So now in all of this, we still have 91 still in captivity.
I'm sure
I do not know what the parents are going through. I don't know what these children they've gone through, because if you still have 91 in captivity, I think it was a big media outlet actually had the whole documentary on this issue, and then they spoke about it, which is actually a sad one. How do the parents get closure?
You know, like you mentioned, Mercy, that the parents, when a child is missing, it's better off you know that your child is dead and you've buried the child.
Excuse me, let me say something about this last statement you made. Last week, while coming to I think that should be Tuesday. When was Salah break?
It was
the first one was Tuesday. That was on Tuesday. I entered the car with this woman who sells food, somehow maybe opposite NNPC tower, and then she was having issues with somebody who she asked the driver to take her to where she sells food because of the load, and then the man who entered, who even begged that he should be taken to beggar for 100 naira, and he was given the opportunity, was preventing or stopping the driver from entering the street where the woman was going to sell her food. And I said, You just came in, you begged that they should take you for 100 naira, and somebody who is seeking for another favor, you are shouting and preventing, and they say he doesn't want to be kidnapped and all that. Okay, to cut the story short, this woman said it is God that protects somebody.
Yeah.
That her own son is supposed to be graduating this year, but for 2 years now,
She has not seen,
she has not seen him.
Oh.
That if they had come to tell him or to tell her that he was killed or had said that
something she would understand.
She at least by now should have gotten
healed. Yeah.
Not
but
healed,
now,
but at least the closure is
that,
there.
that she goes every day, she goes to one prayer, the other they say your son is still there, and then the trauma of having to know that your son is somewhere but you don't know where he is.
Yeah, and that brings me to the point I was about to make. You know, mental torture is worse than even experiencing physical pain, because it's just you. At least physical pain, someone is seeing that another person is inflicting the pain on you. Yeah, I can say, oh, please, sorry.
You can run away from the person.
You can run away or you can fight back. But mental torture is all in your head.
Nobody can bring it out.
Nobody can feel how you are feeling. Nobody can explain it. It's all up in your head, in your sleep, when you are eating, you're walking on the road. That's why you see people, you just see them walking on the road. That's why some people, when they cross the road carelessly, you're a driver, you just take time because you don't know what is actually they are not themselves at all. So mental torture is very bad, and I'm sure that is what the trauma, that's what these parents are going through, because it's so sad. First of all, parents are not supposed to bury their children, but now having sleeping every night, you not even being able to sleep, that your child is missing, and then something else.
You come back to your society.
Yeah.
Some of them most likely may not even have that recalling mental faculty to even remember their family, even to know the road to their homes. And then some of them may not even, of course, they say about 24 parents are already gone. Now. So they will now see, I pity them. After the 10 years of torture, you come back home, you may not know your family. Maybe if
some would
if
even come
lucky,
back and their parents are not
yes,
there
if you are
anymore.
lucky and you're able to recognize your family members, then they will not tell you your daddy or your mommy is no longer alive. So it's going to be a renewed pain. And that's why I'm saying I don't want a situation whereby they will say they should. Though I trust the governor of Borno State that he can do something, but this is too much of a thing to be played with, because Nigeria that we know, before you know now, they will say, okay, they should give them new clothes. They should give them one bag of rice. They should go and renovate their house for them. My dear,
that's not enough. It's not enough.
That is why I'm advocating that they should. How much is that? How many of them with their children? Take them somewhere. We have embassies in Nigeria. Prepare a grant for them. Get a what's it called? A psychologist and maybe a psychological firm or whatever. Give them proper psychological orientation, and then with time you gradually talk them into. You need to talk them into the reality of life, the society, and all that. If not, if you leave them here, I don't think it's going to be well with them and also the society that we find ourselves.
That sounded, it's not supposed to be funny.
Funny, but yes.
Let's leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. All right, Tony, I'd like you to just leave a word with everybody, because now, as I said that, something came to my head again that, okay, imagine people that they still have their parents alive, and then the federal government says, oh, 24 out of these kids have been released, and then some parents rather, they get there and they realize that their children are not even part of those people that were released. That actually gave me another mental breakdown. This is actually a sad story, but then in all of this, I like it to just leave a note with them if you're watching.
It's so painful. It's really, really painful. In fact, the moment you mentioned that, my spirit just dropped, because going there, when you hear the news that, oh, they've released some children, and you hurriedly leave whatever thing you're doing. I want to see my daughter. And you get there, you don't find your child. That's another level of pain. It refreshes the wound. It's more like it brings back the pain of the exact day that incident happened, and they told you your daughter was abducted. All the sleepless nights you've had, the tears you've shed over the child. It's just renewed pain. And the truth of the matter is, it's only God that can actually heal these people from all of this. Yes, psychologists may do, but it's by divine intervention. Divine intervention.
All right, thank you, Tony. Now over to Chris. Leave a word with them.
Well, I do not have anything to say to them, but I will still call on the government. This is purely government's responsibility. First of all, we failed them by not giving them the necessary security to protect them, and also by not also rescuing them maybe the first 2 3 weeks or even first month, and now they are back. So if you fail them 2 3 times, why should you fail them again? Fail them again. So the government, like I said, we look at what the humanitarian ministry look at. After 30 billion naira, they are still recovering something from the first person that held that ministry down to the people that are now just 8 months into the government. And so if 2 3 person can embezzle such money, in fact, this money that they say they recovered, the EFCC recovered from that ministry, they should inject it into the well-being of these children and their and whatever. Take them out there, give them what they need now. What they need is not even material thing now.
Yeah.
It's not about camping them somewhere. These are not IDPs, so in case they will say they will go and keep them in IDPs, they should take them to where they will come back to be human beings. And for the children, I think it will be better. I think that of their kids, that's the 24 children or 34 of them, it will be better because over time, by the time you guide them and they start playing with their pairs, before you know, they will come back.
What if because now that you said this, it's just a lot
of scenarios are flying.
Because now let's say some of these people actually got pregnant 1 year into, that means you have a 9-year-old coming out of that camp. But then, all right, let's just wrap it up for today for issues, because now we're just going to keep overthinking this whole thing. All right, this is where we wrap it up for today for issues. Thank you for staying tuned with us. I remain Miss Baba today. Bye for now.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.